Hi everyone, welcome to the Lavender Learning channel. This was supposed to be a live video. On Thursdays I do live English homework help, and on Mondays I do live maths help. Unfortunately today technology just is not working with me. I cannot work out how to get the right camera on my computer to take the video, and the one that it keeps defaulting to is recording the bottom of my chin. So thank you for sticking with me. I hope this video might be helpful anyway, and I will keep persisting in trying to work out how to make the videos live. When I get to 1,000 subscribers, I will be able to make live videos on my phone, which should be a lot easier. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please make sure you do that, and that would really help me out. Okay, so the English questions that I've been sent today, and I apologise if you see things moving around. I have the fan on in this room because here in Queensland it is extremely humid and hot today. So we're just pushing on anyway. Question 1 was something that came up in a session with a Year 8 poetry student this week. And she asked me, what is assonance? And so assonance is a pattern where you hear the same repeated open vowel sounds in words. So for example, instead of having rhyme, the fat cat sat on the mat, where it's the same at sound in every word, we have the same open sound, but the ends of the words might be different. For example, Jenny was dismayed at the sad grey day. Another example that I thought of before, Ben played the gloomy tune thinking of the human gone too soon. A bit sad, but the words there that you can hear that long oo sound in, soon, human, gloomy, tune, they don't rhyme with each other, but they have that open sound that's similar. It sounds good to your ear, and that is what assonance is. I'll quickly move through these. I have a student coming very soon in fighting with technology, and it has taken some time away. Question 2. Do sight words matter anymore? And I was asked this by a parent of a student with whom I am working on some sight words. And my answer to that is, look, sight words are still considered to be one of the big 5 reading skills that will help a child, and they're certainly very useful in the early stages of reading. So they do have their place. A child should not be just simply visually recognising everything that they read. So if you're learning your sight words, then keep working at them, because they will make it a little easier for you when you're getting started, because you'll have a bank of words that you can use. If you're a parent watching this, those first few hundred sight words are a really helpful way of giving a child some momentum to get started. And as they begin to learn phonics, they will work out how to decode words on their own, using certain rules that we can apply to the English language, but those rules don't always apply. And so it's good to have learnt the exceptions to the rules sometimes as sight words. Things like was, which if we applied the early phonics rules would be was, they, they, were, where, those words which look very similar. It can be really good to start to teach the visual discrimination of those nice and early. The word people looks like it should be pe-opple, maybe. Those kind of words are useful to be taught as sight words, because that gives the child automatic recognition, and they don't have to stop and use some of their decoding brain power to work the words out, which can really impact their fluency, which in turn can really impact their comprehension. So yes, sight words do have a place, but they shouldn't be the only method through which a child learns to read. I think that's pretty obvious, but certainly don't write them off. I think maybe, they get sent home in those early years of school for homework, and parents might think, oh, look, it doesn't matter that much anyway. They've heard or read that, sight words are dead. That's probably not a great approach. I would definitely suggest that you continue to work with children on developing that bank of sight words. I think that's a great foundation. And then finally, question 3, from an older student, actually a few students this week working on assignments and asking, how do I reduce my word count? They've written some really great things. They have some wonderful ideas to express. They can't say everything they'd like to say because they're over the word count. What do you do? And so I have a few tips here. One is that if you're writing in a very passive voice, it can be seen that, then you can take out those words, it can be seen that, 5 words, and maybe start with clearly, comma. That's one word replacing 5. That kind of thing can be helpful. So if you go through and run a bit of what I call, a wordy word tracker over your work, and think about whether sometimes you may have said things in a way that's a bit more formal than needed or a bit more passive than it should be. You might be able to find some ways just by changing your sentence structure or finding a more direct way to say something that you want to say, an important point, and that should cut some words out. If you find yourself repeating things, that's another way to cut words out. Sometimes we do that because we want to restate the question as part of the answer, and you can sometimes do that in a more succinct way than the way that the questioner asked the question. So have a think about that. Also, if you have a sentence that has a stem and that applies to several parts of the sentence down the track, for example, healthy eating is really good for your body's well-being, and it is also really good for your mental well-being. You might be able to say, take out the part where you said, and it is also, and just say, healthy eating is really good for both body and mental well-being, or something like that, physical and mental well-being. So you're cutting the end of that sentence down, and you're still making the very same point by just trying as many things as close together in the sentence stem as you can. Sometimes you might be able to separate some clauses with commas in the same way, or make a list, or that sort of thing. And then something else that you might be able to do, and look, this is just a really quick handful of things. I have lots and lots of other ideas that I might talk about if this question gets asked again sometime, is maybe using adverbs. So this week I worked on an assignment with a student where she had used the phrase about a film director. The director has done something in a careful way to get this certain result. And we just changed that to, instead of in a careful way, just the word carefully, has done this carefully to, and that way you're getting the very same meaning by using that adverb to describe the action. Yeah. And that is a really easy way to try and cut down on some of those words. I hope that's helpful. Thanks for bearing with me and watching this video, even though it's not live. Please feel free to email me if you have any questions, jane@lavenderlearning.com.au. Send me some questions for next week's English or maths. I'd love to answer those for you. And please subscribe to the channel so that I can hopefully start recording on my phone sooner rather than later. Thanks, guys. Bye.